We're ready to roll.
All right, I see it says this meeting is being recorded. I don't know how to get rid of that. Continue. Do I have to push continue?
Yes.
Continue. Yes, Chairman.
Okay. I'd like to call the meeting of the Danville Public Works Committee to order for Tuesday, June the 8th, 2021, 6 p.m. Roll call, please.
Alderman Michael Kane.
Here.
Brenda Brown.
Present.
Bob Iverson.
Here.
Heidi Patel.
Present.
Jim Bouchard. Carolyn Wands.
Present.
Chairman Mike Poor.
Present.
6 present.
6 present. Thank you very much. We do have the minutes to approve from the May 11th, 2021 meeting. If there's no corrections, need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
And by the advice of the Corporation Council, roll call.
Alderman O'Kane.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Iverson.
Yes.
Patel.
Yes.
Bouchard. Wands.
Yes.
Poor.
Yes.
6 yes.
6 yes, thank you. We do have an agenda. There are, as far as I know, no removals from the agenda. As everyone knows, we cannot add anything to the agenda. So need a motion to approve the agenda and a roll call, please.
Move to approve. Second. Second.
Ready for roll call?
Yes, ma'am.
Alderman Brown.
Yes.
Iverson.
Yes.
Patel.
Yes.
Bouchard. Wands.
Yes.
O'Kane.
Yes.
Poor.
Yes.
6 yes.
6 yes, thank you. Madam Clerk, audience comments, item number 4. Are there any?
No, there are not, Chairman.
We have not received any audience comments. Thank you. Chairman's comments, have none at this time. So we'll move on to item number 6, approval of the payrolls. These will be from the June 4th, 2021. Need a motion and a second, please.
So moved. Second.
Okay, are there any questions on payrolls? All right, roll call, Madam Clerk.
Alderman Iverson.
Yes.
Patel.
Yes.
Bouchard. Wands.
Yes.
O'Kane.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Poor.
Yes.
6 yes.
6 yes, thank you. Item 7 is approval of the vouchers payable. These will be from the June 8th, 2021 run. Need a motion and approval, please, or a second?
Second.
Any questions on the vouchers payable? Okay, seeing none, roll call, please.
Alderman Patel.
Yes.
Bouchard. Wands.
Yes.
O'Kane.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Iverson.
Yes.
Poor.
Yes.
6 yes.
6 yes, thank you. Under item number 8, legal, this is the first time I've had this on my agenda. Corporation Counsel Simon, we have a resolution approving a 5-year contract for Westlaw Electronic Legal Research Data. Need a motion, put that on the table, please.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Questions or comments by legal counsel?
Go on.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I have a question. So, what exactly is this legal research database, and is there any other services that we could use like this at maybe a lower cost?
There is only one service that is even remotely comparable to Westlaw, and that would be LexisNexis. Westlaw has published case law and statutory law, not for decades, but at least over a century old. It is not only the most comprehensive legal database that's ever been compiled. It is by far and away the best organized database. There are many ways through Westlaw you can research issues and topics and cases and statutes and other legal documents, rules, regulations from administrative agencies, both federal and state. I used Lexis many years ago. I found it cumbersome to use. I'm sure they have changed over time, but Westlaw is still ahead of them. They're ahead of LexisNexis with artificial intelligence in ways one can research. And frankly, I am far more familiar with Westlaw, having used first starting out with its volumes, both in case law, statutory law, and in essence, digests of the law, which run 30, 40, 50 volumes just for digests of Illinois law, and Illinois Digest in particular. You have access to all kinds of secondary resources you do with Lexis, but Westlaw has more than a century of experience in organizing the law and categorizing the law in such a way that you can more easily navigate through cases and statutes. And I am most familiar. It is priced, the offer they have given us is exactly the same price as Lexis. Now, there is another service called Fast Case that I believe is free, but it is nowhere near organized or in depth or in detail as Westlaw. Fortunately, I have developed quite experience and expertise in using Westlaw, and I've been able to find things that a lot of other attorneys haven't been able to find using other search tools.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question. Now, this says a 5-year contract.
Yes.
Is this what we had before with LexisNexis?
I believe it was more than a 1-year term. I think it was my recollection, though I didn't study the contract other than pricing. It may have been a 3-year contract, but they're meeting Lexis's price based on a 5-year contract.
Well, it's just my question is just common that they use these contracts, 3 years, 5 years, or whatever.
Oh, yes, they do. That's
Okay,
very common.
Okay.
And we get a significant discount by executing a multi-year contract.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? I don't see any hands. Okay, roll call vote, please.
Alderman Pritchard, Wands,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Purcell,
She's muted.
You're muted.
Sorry, yes.
thank you. 4,
Yes.
6 yes.
6 yes, thank you. Moving on to item number 9, Public Transportation Director B, your item of information monthly report.
Well, I didn't have too many items of information, but as you can see, our ridership numbers are coming up slightly, our revenue, and also these past couple of weeks we've spent cleaning up our triennial review. We wrapped everything up, and we wrapped up the investigative part. Now we've gotten a list, or we'll get an official list of all the findings that we have 10 days to clean them up. And I think that by far this year has been better than years in the past. And so, I'm real thankful for the group I have that has, gotten all the documents together and gotten us through this, because having a virtual triennial review was much different than having on site. So although, if they want to do it again that way, I don't have a problem with that. The only other thing is we have hired a new street supervisor to take Petro's position since he went to facilities and maintenance, and his name is Tim Ard. He comes to us with a lot of experience. He was the driver supervisor with Chris Rural Mass Transit for the past 3 years. So Tim's a really great guy. We're very anxious to get him out on the street, and so that he's going to have to get his license first. So that's the first thing we'll work on. And then, from there, then he can just learn the operations. So really nice guy.
Lisa, will he ride buses and get familiar with routes and things? And
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
Because one of his responsibilities will be a fill-in driver if we, you know, if
Okay.
we need one. So, yeah.
any questions for Director Beath? Okay, thank you very much. Moving on to item number 10, Public Works Director Carpenter. We have 10A, a resolution awarding the contract for bid 671 for the 2021 overlay. Need a motion, put that on the table, please.
So moved.
Second.
I gotta talk about, see you later. Thanks.
Okay, Carl, what do you have to say on that?
No, I'm gonna let Sam answer these. This whole thing pertains pretty much to engineering.
Okay,
Basically, for those of you that aren't familiar, the overlay program is essentially where we typically mill off existing asphalt surfaces that are too deteriorated to preserve, or we overlay, concrete pavement or something that's too far gone to just maintain it with basic maintenance practices. So this is a pretty small program compared to what some years it is, but that's the strategy that we've gone forward with this year to accomplish a lot of other preservation efforts. So
Sam, this all comes out of MFT.
that's correct. Yeah, motor fuel tax funds. Yep.
Okay, don't see any hands. Anybody have any questions that didn't put a hand up? Okay, roll call, please.
Alderman Wands,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Purcell,
Yes.
Richard, Ford,
Yes,
6 yes.
6 yes, thank you. Item 10B is a resolution awarding the contract for bid number 675 for construction of Dearborn Street drainage improvement. Need a motion, put that on the table, please.
So move.
Second.
Okay, Sam?
So this is a drainage improvement project, obviously, as the name states. Generally, it's the purpose is to drain Dearborn Street, which suffers flooding pretty regularly. It's down on the south edge of Douglas Park as well. Will improve flooding that occurs on that end of the park. The project will start at Perrysville Road, kind of extend up into the Dearborn Street area. And we've been fortunate. This is a project that was identified on our stormwater master plan. It has been moved up priority-wise because we had a really good opportunity to partner with the local landowner there, where he would give us an easement at no cost, basically, in order to, basically get the project done so that he can continue building improvements through his area. So it's really a win-win, and that's why we're doing it. So,
Sam, why is a discrepancy in bids? I mean, there's almost $100,000 from the low to the high.
yeah, and that's, we don't always see that. It's not super uncommon. If there's a little bit between the low and the next one, I think, some people just, if they wanted to go really aggressive on the thing, they may have done that. And then others they may have landed enough work for the year that they're not trying that hard at this point.
Yeah.
I don't think it's, a lack of understanding of the project. We've worked with pretty much all of these contractors, and all of them are more than capable of doing the project. So I think it was just a matter of who wanted it the most at this point. So,
Well, we've used Owens a lot in the past, and
yeah.
local guy, so.
Yeah, and they've done bigger projects than this for us as well. So this is, well within their wheelhouse.
Okay, any questions for Sam? Don't see any hands. Roll call, please.
Just.
Oh.
Well,
Well, you don't have your hand up, Mike.
It's up.
Where? Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Okay. I had to scroll up.
It kind of blended
sorry.
into the background, Vice Chairman.
Will this be done this season?
Yes, it will. I believe, I can't remember the exact completion date, but I think we're targeting like September 1st or September 15th in order to get through there and allow the landowner whose property we're getting easements from to fully pave his parking lots this year too. So.
Okay.
When does this start? Excuse me, Engineer Cole, when does this start?
I think we would, so if it's awarded by council next week, it'll probably be a month before the project actually starts.
Okay, so
Just
then,
by the time materials are ordered and contracts are executed, so.
okay,
And this one shouldn't be one that, other than, local traffic out in that area, there shouldn't be, I'm sure there'll be some impacts to Perrysville road traffic, which is not a huge amount of traffic. And
does
then
this
local.
go up into the, where they have apartments out on Dearborn or?
It does, yes. So because of numerous utility conflicts out in that area, we're actually going kind of through the middle of their parking lot. And
Okay.
they've been gracious enough to work with us on that, which has been really helpful to the city. It actually is more beneficial to them too, because they get enhanced drainage improvements out of it,
Yeah,
and saves us money and improves their situation as well. So.
okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm scrolling up and down on participants. I don't see any other hands. Roll call, please.
Vice Chairman O'Kane,
Yes.
Alderman Brown,
Yes,
Iverson,
Yes.
Patel,
Yes.
Bouchard, Wands,
Yes.
Core,
Yes.
6 yes.
6 yes, thank you. The next item is item 10C, a resolution amending the contract for Poland Road Pump Station Upgrade Project, bid number 636, and amending the Storm and Sanitary Sewer Fund 402 for fiscal year 2021-2022. Need a motion to put that on the table, please.
So moved.
Second.
second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Questions? I'm looking again.
I actually have a question.
You gotta
it
push
says-
that hand, Miss Patel.
I'm so sorry. I keep forgetting
I'm
that it's
just teasing
there.
you.
Okay, it's up. It's up. It just says due to unforeseen conditions encountered during construction. Can someone elaborate on what those unforeseen conditions were?
Sure. So there's a sheet following that one that provides a very brief overview of what those are. One of them, I'll go through a couple of them just to give you an idea. Basically doing the project, there was more clearing and grubbing basically of trees than what we had on the plans. So some of it we wanted to do increased tree removal to protect trees from falling on the pump station and the pump station equipment. We ended up having to stabilize a slope that was, with a lot of riprap that was kind of destabilized in that area. We ended up having to reroute a storm sewer that we did not know was there through when we were excavating for some of the manhole structures. We did a change order for the electrical service because between the time it was designed and the time that it was constructed, there have been some changes with Ameren's requirements as far as underground electrical service equipment. So we had to basically meet the current standard for that equipment. Due to, we're working with buried lines basically. So we approximate, we draw them where we think they are. And some of them weren't in the exact right location. So we had to reconfigure the layout of some of the equipment on the site, improve the entrance because the quality of the entrance was such that it was falling apart. And then provide some additional fencing to give our guys more room to work within the site. So that's just the brief overview. All in all, it's about a 5.3% increase in the contract value, which in the grand scheme of contracting is still pretty good. We always love not coming back to you with change orders for anything, but that's probably not realistic to expect that. We've been very blessed with projects that have come in under budget or on budget as of late. And we hope to continue that trend, but this is kind of normal, I guess. So.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Cole. Just for
welcome.
future reference, I'm blind even with my bifocals on, so I could not see any of this.
Yeah, well, we always struggle with, we can print stuff at the office in much larger sizes. And when it gets translated into the agenda documents, it's not always in a format that is legible. So
Gotcha.
we tried, but
Thank you.
I completely understand. I was squinting as I read it to you, so.
So Sam, should I have had D in with that as well?
Let's see, what's D?
Probably.
No, that's a separate item.
Okay,
Yes,
when you were talking about Illinois Power and Sir Ameren, I just,
yes.
okay. Okay, let's see. I'm scrolling up and down. See, no more hands. Okay, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Woman Brown,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Patel,
Yes.
Richard, Wands,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes,
6 yes.
thank you very much. Item number D is a resolution approving an easement for an electrical line relocation to Illinois Power Company, doing business as Ameren IP. Need a motion to put that on the table.
So
So
moved.
moved. Second.
Okay, Sam, you're back up.
All right, so this is not a city-driven project in this case. Ameren identified that they've got some, kind of aged and dangerous pole locations. Well, just maybe not dangerous, but less than ideal conditions. They wanted to secure some additional easement to relocate those and provide more space between transformers and power lines in the buildings that are in the downtown area. So, these are both city-owned properties. One's a parking lot. The other is just empty grass space where buildings used to be in the downtown area. So we're providing a strip of land adjacent to the existing alley for them to relocate their lines to.
Okay, again, looking. Don't see hands up. So I guess we'll do a roll call.
Woman Iverson,
Yes.
Patel,
Yes.
Richard, Wands,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes,
6 yes.
yes, thank you. 10E is item of information. Who wants to take that?
I can do that. I don't believe there's anything with DATS at the current time.
I can give them a little update.
Okay, well, go ahead with that one then, Sam.
All right. So in the coming month, you will see something come before you for one of the major DATS projects for this year and the kind of coming year. We've solicited qualifications basically from firms for pavement management services, in which these specialty firms go and rate all the pavement, the condition of all the pavements in the city. We had done that internally, 2 years ago, and that was a huge help, but we'd like to get some more expert advice. They're going to help us try to tailor a program that is going to lead us to have a more cost-effective management program or kind of an approach to maintaining our pavements and replacing them. We're also going to be, the Vermilion County Highway Department is going to be receiving kind of the same thing because they're a DATS member agency. So that's a project I'm very excited about and that you will see coming before you for a vote on the contract in the next month. So,
Sam, and then talk about our email today.
oh yes. And this is, just for a future, basically I forgot to put an item on this agenda. We have some easements that were secured that I referenced for the Dearborn Street drainage project. And I forgot to I put the contract award on there, but I forgot to put the easement resolution on there. So I've asked Chairman Poor for permission to take that direct to council next week, just so that it's approved simultaneously with the bid and we can move forward with the project. So
Is that okay with everybody?
Fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead with it, Sam.
all right, appreciate that, everybody.
Okay, moving on, the H&L landfill, there's nothing to update you there. We're still in limbo with the Illinois EPA, and that will be the case until they do a final sign off on it. As far as projects go, today, I don't know what the building was called, but the structure on Madison was tore down that coincides with Carl's project. You'll see that, drive by that, take a nice look at that. Of course, we all know the lights are working now at Madison and Gilbert Street, traffic flowing perfectly fine there. We have roughly 20 some structures that will be coming down in the next 3 to 4 weeks. We have contractors and the city itself working on all those structures. We received the grant money for some of them. So all that money won't be coming out of the 310 fund. Some of that is the grant money fund that Logan has applied for and received. We are full swing now into the bi-weekly yard waste collection. We haven't had too many people be confused with that. Those that are understanding more so than in the past. We continue to street sweep. The street department crew that is improving the road edges in preparation for the seal coat program is wrapping that up. Some of you have seen that work. That's done simply to bolster the sides of the road so that they just don't deteriorate real fast. That's pretty much it in a nutshell for Public Works right now.
I did see the Vector truck was broke down. I saw one of the garbage trucks.
Oh, you saw a Vector on a tow hook today or yesterday?
Yesterday,
we got
and then a garbage truck, I think, the day before.
Yeah, but we got the garbage truck's already fixed.
Okay.
The Vector truck, I don't know if it's even still in the shop. We got the part for it today. It'll be ready to go tomorrow.
Okay.
We did receive at my house, east end of town, exactly 1 inch of rain today. We didn't receive a lot of calls for that, so the drains are pretty well open, luckily right now. The street sweeping helps with that. Personally, I don't think we have as big a problem as we've had in the past, people blowing grass out in the streets. Maybe they're slowly but surely catching on.
State law?
What's that?
To the state law?
Yeah. And then one of the other structures that you will see coming down in the next couple of weeks is the old Arnholt Bakery and his house that he owned behind it.
Really?
This will be looking for that within the next 3 weeks as well. Yes.
Okay.
Is the city's doing that? Did we acquire
No,
that already?
no. Mr. Arnholt is private paying on that himself.
Is that something we could acquire?
I believe we're going to process that
Okay.
or attempt to, and we'll go from there.
Okay. I do see Alderman Iverson, or Vice Mayor Iverson has his hand up.
Yeah, Carl, the 20 structures coming down, are those all ones that are on the demolition list that we've seen before? These are ones you've been ready to do for a while?
Yes.
Okay.
Tracy should have gotten that list to all of you already. It tells you which ones are identified as city owned and city, the 310 fund, and it should also inform you of which ones are being done with the grant money.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that since there was some discussion of demolition lists and how we were doing. So glad to hear you got 20 more moving forward.
Did everyone receive that list?
I don't
I
think
have not.
I don't recall receiving it either, so,
Well, I'll make sure he sends it out to all aldermen again tomorrow.
okay. Okay, I see, Vice Mayor Iverson, do you have anything else?
I just haven't taken it on my hand. Sorry.
Okay, Alderman Brown.
Yes, I was gonna mention, you were talking about the sewers on William Street today, just east of the Leakin Sons Funeral Home. It was flooded there today, real bad.
Yep, it does every time it rains. Those
I
trees
know.
on the old
It seemed like it flooded faster today for some, because I was in that area, and maybe it's about the same, but man, that water was just gathering so fast there.
Came down.
those drains are a problem. We can clean them today and tomorrow. If it rained, it would be plugged because those trees shed real bad on the old public housing authority property, and it all goes right there. And like I say, we got an inch of rain. We had a severe downpour. If you weren't out in it, visibility was less than a quarter mile. It was a hard rain in 15 minutes. So
Hey, what are they
pretty good
repairing?
about that.
What is the city repairing right there on that bridge? They have a little barricade and things there.
There was a washout right there, and it was creating a problem at the bridge that has been addressed. They put flowable fill down there and some concrete to address that, to shore that up.
Okay, and while we're on that, in that area, William Street there, you mentioned about the old public housing there, where it used to be an administration building, and then below that was the housing there. So who actually owns that? I mean, like
The Danville Housing Authority still owns
they
that.
still own that. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was asked that question and I wasn't sure, because at one time someone said that the housing authority only owned where the building, where the housing was at, and then where that building was at, that someone else owned that. So I didn't know what the story was. But anyway, you answered my question. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Anyone else?
Got one more project update. Just
Okay.
if people are bored and you want to see something kind of nice, the parts of the pedestrian bridge for the Denmark Road project got delivered today. So
Oh, yeah.
there's the two pieces that bolt together for the center section of the bridge were delivered today, and there'll be the two end pieces will be delivered on Thursday. So I would recommend you avoid that area on Thursday because we will be temporarily closing the road to unload them. But in the very near future, you'll start to see that thing set into place, and it'll look like something's happening.
So Sam, they closed it earlier this week, right?
They closed it today for 2 periods of a little less than an hour.
Okay.
So as each section comes in on a semi, they have to block the road, hook it up to a crane, and then lift it off and set it, it's not in place yet. It's on the other side of the road, basically.
Okay.
But yeah.
And then once that's all assembled, that'll be, will they put down concrete over it, or?
So the foundation for the bridge is already poured,
Okay.
and the piers that support it, that's a lot of the work that they were doing through the winter time, actually, getting that all poured. So right now they're in the process of, they have to attach the new sewer to the bottom of the bridge before it's set into place. And then they will set it into place. It already has the decking and the railings and like the fencing attached to it.
Oh, okay.
The decking is a wood decking that's a very durable. I believe it's some kind of an exotic wood that is not supposed to take much maintenance. So
okay,
it will be very
once
nice
that's
when it's done.
once that's in place, that side would be available to walk or bike or whatever on it.
Yeah, once the roadway project's done, exactly, that's the bridge that will be used by, primarily walkers or bicyclists that choose not to use the bike lanes on the road when the roadway project is complete.
Okay. And our estimated time for that project to be finished?
I would say I'm very hopeful that it will be done mostly this year. I can't tell you that for sure because there are so many moving pieces of the project right now.
But by summer of 2022.
Yes, by summer of 2022, I would expect by contract it would have to be done. If things go smoothly, you might be able to go using stuff sooner than that. And my biggest fingers crossed thing is that we don't have traffic signals on the bridge through the winter time. I wish I could promise that would be the case, but I don't know yet. So.
Okay, Brenda, do you have another question?
No, let me take my hand down. Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, and then one other question. So the lights that are covered up on Gilbert Street, since the new lights are in, are those going to be deactivated?
Yes, they will be. Basically, IDOT requires them to be bagged or covered for a period of time. They don't want to take them out before we're certain everything else is working correctly first. Okay. And after a monitoring period, they will be allowed to, Carl will be completely removing those, including the traffic cabinet, and all that equipment there. So, okay. And then later on down the road, once Logan Avenue is closed and all the traffic's rerouted down Madison completely, the signals at Logan and Main will come out as well. And they'll see the same process where they're bagged for a period of time and monitored and then removed.
Okay, so where are we at on the Williams Street S-curve?
So I think right now, the ball is in my court to finalize the easements with Kirchner. And we've had some good conversations there as far as that goes. That's something that just hasn't moved along as fast as I wanted it to, just because we're balancing so many other things.
Yeah.
But all in all, the project is moving along. If we can get everything secured, we're still, it looks like that'd be a 2022 project, but we also have to, we don't want to simultaneously be reconstructing Madison Street by the Carl project and West William Street. So
Exactly.
we're monitoring those for the exact timing as that all unfolds.
Okay. And then we were told when this project first started that the traffic signals would be able to be controlled by emergency vehicles. Are these new signals and stuff they're putting in and that capable of that?
Yes, they are capable of that. I couldn't tell you yet if that equipment is installed in this particular intersection. They've also committed to installing that equipment in at least a couple others. I can't recall offhand. I want to say it was like 4 intersections.
Right.
They are committed to doing that. They would be responsible for putting the equipment at the intersection. The only way that would be operable would be the city would have to make an investment to install the equipment on the vehicles that the city owns to, make that functional. And we have priced out some of that equipment on the fire trucks particularly, but we have not taken action on that, yet.
So private, the ambulance companies, we wouldn't be responsible for that.
That's right.
Part,
That's correct. Right. If they want to invest in that, I think we would be able to allow them to utilize that equipment. So,
because that's something that wants to be done before we close Logan.
Yeah, and it doesn't necessarily. I mean, in a perfect world, it would be done, but I don't know that that's going to happen because the city's going to have it installed on all the fire trucks and stuff for it to be effective anyway.
I'm just talking about for ambulance service. One of their concerns was being able to we're taking their fastest route away from getting to the hospital.
Right.
Chairman, they're already on the Madison Street intersection. I drive that to work every morning. You can actually see it. It's,
okay.
I don't know how to describe it, but I've seen them out there working on it. It's not a.
So the ambulance part would be able to utilize that technology.
We need to verify that, but yes, I believe so.
But the ambulance services themselves have to pay to have that put on their equipment.
Okay. Because I think that's important. And when are we looking at that shutting down Logan, basically, I guess, for those 4 blocks?
So it could be the intersection work on Madison and Logan intersection could begin within the next couple of weeks. The way that we are approaching that with Carl is that we're going to allow them to stage that. We will allow them to partially close Logan Avenue, but we are requiring that they maintain inbound traffic towards the hospital. Okay. So it may be one way for a portion, but we're focusing on maintaining continuous access to inbound ambulances to the hospital.
Okay.
So
I would ask, I guess, then that we let the Carl and Provena, or whatever it's called,
right,
now, know that this is happening. If you want this equipment, you need to get it to be able to control the signals type thing.
Yeah.
What does the rest of the committee think? I mean, is that something we want?
Can't see why not.
I just think it's important if we're going to start closing, we need to give them an alternate. Here's your alternate course. You need to have this equipment to activate lights.
And better to do it now.
Right.
Yes. I agree with you, Chairman Poor.
So they're not already aware of that?
They are.
They have been made aware of that. They probably need a good reminder, Alderman Patel.
Yeah. So this has been a while since that's been discussed, so I'm
Yeah,
not
it's been a year.
before. Yeah,
It's been a year, so.
And it may be, I'm not exactly sure how the timing will work out, to be honest, if it's going to be, we're able to get them in perfectly right before everything goes live, because my understanding is that all the equipment has to be installed in every intersection. Like they each have to be calibrated or basically,
Right.
connected so that they work in a certain way. So I think it may make sense for all the equipment to be in the intersections first and then get them upgraded. So that means there's some more upgrades to go on 3 other intersections as well first.
Sam,
But
is
yeah,
this something that has to be ran through IDOT?
Yes, it does. And, we've got to get their blessing on all of it and, as well. So they were aware that this is something that was, in the works. And the contractor coordinates directly with IDOT and their traffic, signal people. But with the city actually maintains the signals at these intersections, and we have a cooperative agreement with IDOT to cost share. Just it won't be on that equipment. They don't participate in the maintenance of that. They would, just allow it basically.
But Carl's agreed to pay for this.
Yes, the equipment at the intersections. That's correct.
So I think our biggest goal right now is if we're going to be doing construction work and getting ready to close Logan, we need to get with IDOT and Carl and make sure everybody's on the same page and get this,
Yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
want to see Logan close until we have the safety measures in place to have a safe and quick route to the hospital.
Gotcha.
And Chairman, that's why we're requiring them to maintain a lane, open lane, for northbound so that they can continue to access the hospital in the same manner, for the immediate future.
Okay, anybody else have any questions for Public Works? Okay, moving on, closed session. Guess what? There is no need for closed session.
oh,
Oh, believe me, there will be in the future. Item of information, item 12.
I do have an item of information for everybody. It's a reminder basically that next Monday is Flag Day, and the local American Legion Post 210 does retire flags at 10 a.m. on that morning. If you have a veteran in your family, or even if you don't, and you're just patriotic and you've never been to a flag retirement ceremony, it's a pretty solemn ceremony. You might want to go up there just to observe.
And Carl, you can bring any flag that's damaged or anything else up there. They'll
Okay.
burn them.
They need them by 8 a.m. Monday. There is an old postal box outside the post. You can drop your flags straight into that if
Okay.
they're not open, or you can walk in and hand them to anybody that's working in the post. They will
So
accept them.
Carl, is that option to do that's available year round too, to be able to
Yes.
give an old flag?
Yeah, here actually at the city, anytime we take a flag down, it comes back here to my office and I make sure they all get folded and put into the box or given to the post members themselves.
because I have one and I was wondering about that. If you could do it anytime, but now that you say it can be done on that day, but anytime you can take it like to the post then and do that. Okay,
Yeah, and
thank you.
and that box is always there. It's never locked. It's just an old mail drop box. You can drop the flag right in it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I see Alderman Pickering has her hand up.
Yes, I just want to remind everyone, Serve Together Vermillion County is this Saturday. So if anyone wants to sign up for that, they can go to the Sign Up Genius through Second Church of Christ. They can do it through there also. Could you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
And
I was
add-
thinking, there's also Walking Her Shoes this Saturday, isn't it?
Yes, Chairman. It is, Welcome Islander Shoes at 10 o'clock at Temple Plaza downtown.
Mhm.
Okay, I see Alderman Brown. Nope.
Yep. I have a question. This is for the mayor. at the council meeting last week, you mentioned, I can't remember exactly, but we were talking about the guidelines for that, for the American Reserve
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Plan and the guidelines, and you said you would get them out. I didn't know if you had maybe put them in our mailbox or you're gonna send them by email or what.
I intended to email them to you. Vice Chairman O'Kane had asked for Cliff Notes. I have not been able to do those yet. But
Oh,
what I
okay.
will do is I'll go ahead, Alderman Brown, and send you all the link to those rules.
Okay.
Mayor, we want Cliff Notes. We don't want to have to read 150 pages.
Here's the thing that worries me though, Chairman. I would strongly, I know it's a lot of reading, but I would strongly encourage everyone to read it, because there might be times where I misinterpret something or you catch something that I didn't catch, and I just want to be sure. I don't want anybody to say, oh, well, Ricky, you didn't tell us about that, or you didn't fully explain this. I may not catch everything, so I just would really.
I understand, believe me, because I've been jumped by some people and I said, it's 150 plus pages of reading.
Exactly.
We don't know exactly what all the rules are, so give us
Chairman,
some time.
I believe Comptroller might like to say a word on that.
Yeah, I would just wanted to kind of reiterate what Mayor was already saying. I've made it a priority to read the interim rule. It is 150 pages. I would strongly recommend that you read it in its entirety. There's a lot of commentary provided on not only what the rules are, but why they're giving the plan, and an overall picture of why certain categories are on there that you wouldn't necessarily pick up just by reading the bullet points of what the categories are. So, I mean, if you wanted Mayor and I to give you maybe read this page to this page, like I can tell you, or Mayor can tell you what, you don't need to read technically how we calculate our revenue loss, like I can do that, but why they want you to spend money on certain things, I think it's really important that that's read by you. I mean, we're getting a lot of money, and so we really need to know what we're spending it on so they don't recoup it.
And Ashton, this cannot be spent on pensions.
Correct.
Yeah.
Nope.
Which I've tried to explain to people.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like it to be, but it's not. No.
I have another question for the mayor. Would it be too much to ask if you could maybe copy this and put in our mailboxes we can pick up? Would that be too much to ask? It is a lot of pages, but.
So a hard copy, Alderman Brown?
Yes, that's what I'm asking. Would it be too much to ask that?
But Alderman Brown, I would just say that I would email the alderman and say who wants a hard copy.
Okay, that's
rather
fine.
than just the city printing out, 14 times 150.
Yeah, I understand.
Just
but I'd like to think.
I'd rather read it online, because I can do it on my phone, I can do it on my computer, I can do it on my laptop. And then if I want to print something off, I can. That would save. It's not a lot. I mean, you're only talking 2 reams of paper, but.
Yes, ma'am.
I understand, and I thought about that before I asked, but then again, it's something that's very important, so I didn't think the city would mind printing that extra paper for us, because it's important, as Comptroller says, it's important that we have it. And so you have a good idea as well, that just see who wants a hard copy, because you may prefer reading online. I prefer the hard copy.
Alderman Brown, yes, ma'am, absolutely. And I'm like you on that with something so big. I printed off the copy, and then I'm taking notes in the margins and stuff on this one.
Yeah,
I don't want us to make it a regular habit to print off everything,
No.
So, but for something as important as this, I think absolutely. Yeah. What I'll do, Alderman, as soon as we finish here, I'll go back into my office and I'll email everyone and see who would like a hard copy.
Okay.
And then we'll go from there. Okay.
Okay, that'll work. Thank you, Chairman Poor.
Okay, I see Alderman Wands has her hand up.
I believe the 17th is the groundbreaking for Carl.
Yes.
So we might want to keep that in mind. I think it would be good if as many of us as possible went and showed us support for it.
Do we want to meet somewhere and go as a group? Or do we just want to meet? I think they said what, Harrison?
I think the parking is going to be maybe an issue. You're welcome to park down at my place. It's only 2 blocks and walk over.
Well, that's a good
Alderman
idea
Poor.
that we go together.
And Alderman Poor, if you're making pancakes, I'll be glad to meet at your house.
Yeah, I can make about anything.
Oh,
Didn't
that'll work.
Alderman Wands just invite us over for breakfast?
I think she
Breakfast
did.
at our house? Park there?
Sure, why not?
Also, the gentleman who owns the apartment building next door to me has said that we were welcome to park there for the ceremony as well. I would say there are maybe about 10 or 12 spaces there. There are some branches out back that I've got to get rid of, but I have a parking pad in the back of my house. See if 2 of you can park there still, even with those branches that I'm working on clearing up. So
It's my understanding they're going to funnel us through the Harrison, Robinson corner.
Yeah, I
that's
think
correct.
what
Yes,
it is.
ma'am. So then from my house, you would have about a 2-block walk, but
And it'd be about the same from mine.
So we probably should gather. It starts at 10. We should probably start gathering earlier. So
Yeah, 9:30ish.
yes, ma'am.
Figure out where we're going to meet. So can we send out?
Everyone, make sure you're wearing, I mean, I know it will seem odd, especially if, you have on a suit or a dress or something, but I would encourage you to wear construction-ready shoes just because they've gotten it really nice and even, and it'll be even smoother by then, but it's going to be dirty and nasty. So don't wear your best heel, your best kicks over there. Otherwise, you might be disappointed afterwards.
No Crocs or flip-flops, right, Mayor?
No, please no open-toe shoes of any kind during any construction zone.
And Jim and you and I have hard hats, and Carl and everybody. So
And just to throw it out, Mayor, we still do have a probation bus. We can pick everybody up at their house if they wanted to.
okay, let's,
You'd love that, wouldn't they?
That would be something to see all the mayor and all the city aldermen riding around in the probation bus.
That'd be great.
People would think, what has happened? Have we returned to a former time?
yeah, I remember riding there. The one of those buses, RG, when they were doing a tour. Okay, let's see. Carolyn's hand's still up, and Sharon's.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, Chairman Poor, we have a meeting on next Tuesday. Maybe by then we'll decide where we're going to meet.
Yeah, that'd be great. I think
Okay.
that'd be good for us because that way, I think it's as we did with Alderman Stone's visitation and stuff. We all
Yes.
kind of met. I think it's good to be shown as a group
Yes.
when there's a good thing going on. So maybe next.
Director Beef, would it be possible for us to have a small bus take us over? If everyone parked at City Hall and then we rode over at 9:40 or something like that?
Sure, we could do one bus. That's right.
Okay. Let Director and I work out those details and we'll let y'all know on Tuesday, okay? That way we can make it smooth for everyone.
Okay.
That'd be great. That'd be really wonderful. I think we all come out as a group, anybody that can make it, and show our solidarity and our support for the project.
Chairman, remember when we all rode the bus across the new Fairchild Bridge?
Oh yeah.
For the first time together?
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yep. Okay, I see Sharon has her hand up.
Well,
Sherry.
I just want to say I will be out of town. I won't be able to make that, but it sounds so good for pancakes and a bus ride. I might have to change my vacation.
Postpone it today. Okay. Any other comments?
I think we need to say happy belated birthday to Alderman O'Kane.
Yeah, it was his birthday just a day or two ago, wasn't it?
Happy birthday.
Mike turned
Happy
50.
birthday, Alderman O'Kane.
Yeah, Mike turned 50.
Okay, and Mayor, how's your hand doing?
Thank you for checking. It's very good. I go for my follow-up on Friday, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to get rid of this splint. So
Okay.
it's feeling much better when, so thank you.
All
Good.
righty. Anybody else have any comments? If not, we need a roll call to adjourn.
Chairman, we need a motion actually.
So we need a motion, a second to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
And you know this is all because of Jim Simon.
Yeah. Yeah, it was easier before him.
I'm watching.
Roll call, please.
Alderman Patel,
Yes.
Bashard, Wands,
Yes.
O'Kane,
Yes.
Brown,
Yes.
Iverson,
Yes.
Ford,
Yes.
6 yes.
6 yes. Thank you and very much. Everybody have a great weekend and the rest of your week.
Okay.
And we'll see you hopefully on next Tuesday.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.
night.
Everyone,
Good
I'll
night.
send that
God
over to y'all
bless.
shortly, okay?
Okay. Good night.